Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tech Condo. Really appreciate you for taking the time every Saturday here at the 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Central European Time. Whoa, all those time slots, time zones these last couple of weeks have been quite a challenge. So that's the reason why that is. By the way, my name is Petra van Bruggen. I'm typically always here on the Saturday. Of course, there will be some times in the year that I'm not here, but we always make sure that you know that in advance. Welcome everybody. And before I really start with the show, let me just quickly remind you on the topics of what we're going to do today. So first and foremost, I will be welcoming you guys here live and direct. If you are not live and watching this behind this after the fact, then go ahead and please comment, ask questions, because the questions will be collected and will be used for Q&A sessions later in December. So please make sure to write them down if you have any comments or questions that are related. Anyway, that's the first thing that I wanted to tell you. The second thing is, of course, I want to say hi to some people. Of course, MT was always, like always, the first one here. He is saying hi, Petra, which is really cool, of course. But also, Vil is all the way from Finland, and he's also watching live. Vil was a little bit early today, and so he did need to wait a little bit longer for the music, but I hope that you can see that now, which is fantastic. But indeed, like I said during the pre-show, the music is coming, and indeed, I think that MT is right. I was perhaps making sure that the instruments were, warmed up, ready to go, especially after 2 weeks of not being here. And of course, I will be talking about what happened at last couple of 2 weeks, because I think that is also really interesting to talk to you about. DJ Ware is in the house. He says, welcome Petra and everybody. And that is really cool. And I also see you guys talking to each other, which I always appreciate. So please go ahead and do that. Raoul's in the house. Really appreciate you for taking the time, Raoul. And let me see if I am not mistaking anyone. PMX Productions, all the way from Chicago, is also live and direct, which is really fantastic. Garrett, well, I can only say yes. Smash the like button, and so that you don't forget it. And if you see some text going scrolling about adult dating sites, please ignore. It's not me. Welcome from Greece. I'm sorry I will butcher your name, so I'll try not to do that. But welcome anyway. Really appreciate you for taking the time. And Robert says, howdy from Seal Beach, California, US of A. Fantastic. And indeed, that is talking about California. That's where I was. Yes, that's right. So just a quick, a very quick slideshow about what I've done so far. So I will take my camera right here, and hopefully it will be populating again. I think that I've lost my connection. That's okay. I will try to do it one more time. So NDI, capture, record, start broadcasting, and it should be working in just a bit. There you go. Okay, so I'll just go glance very quickly over it. I will probably promise you it's not going to take more than 1 or 2 minutes, just for the sake of time. Of course, I was flying, hence, and I'm a bit of a well, how to say that? I'm a little bit of a airplane person, so I really like that. So this was the Bird, was the first time, and then 787, a really nice bird. Very, very, very fond of it. Really big windows. And it is actually a airplane that was just delivered like 4 weeks ago, believe it or not, which was extremely cool. what was also cool is this thing right here, is that I actually could see how high we were flying, how fast we were flying, where we were flying, like I was actually, you know, like the the captain of the airport, of the airplane. I mean, let me go very quickly to another option. I'm not going to show you everything. It's not that interesting anyway. But the first time, the first day I was there, I actually went to see Galaxy's Edge, which is of course Star Wars at Disney, and these are some of the pictures that I had right there, including some videos which were really cool. There you go. Let me see if I can find something. For example, this one is really cool. This is at the X-wing, which is really cool. But of course, one of the major things that I really liked was being at, yes, the Millennium Falcon right there, which is really, really, really awesome. Let me see. Of course, I was also inside of the Millennium Falcon, which you can see right here, which is like a dream come true, to be honest. And next to that, let me see. That was a little bit of the highlights of the first day, and the other things were, yeah. I was literally in a very nice location in California. This was right from the parking lot at the supermarket, which you could see mountains at the back, palm trees. It was absolutely gorgeous. So that was the first week. Went to the day-to-day job, the company that I work for. This is another picture of that area, which I wanted to show you quickly. So extremely cool, with a lot of mountains and extremely nice way to drive. And mind you, we don't have big mountains over here in the Netherlands. Let me check if I have another thing that I wanted to show you. Also taking into account that it takes otherwise a little bit too long, but I do think I do recall one picture that I wanted to show you that I was actually very fond of. Let me see. So this is like a nature picture that I really liked to make, like this very nice in picture with a lot of depth. And of course, this was also really, really a cool picture to make anyway. And that was the first week. The second week, I was at Vegas. And of course, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So I unfortunately cannot really show you a lot. I am going through very quickly to see if there is something that I can show you. But of course, everybody knows what Vegas is all about. It's about gambling, and gambling, believe it or not. But I did have a very good, this was the view from my hotel room. So I was watching over New York, which was really, really cool. Anyway, that was a very quick overview on what I've done during my vacation. Let me see if there are some comments about that first, before I will be going into other things. Yes, thank you so much for getting rid of them. And we're referring to, of course, the awkward things adult-wise. That's not what we want. Eric says the 787 is a very nice airplane. I cannot agree with you more. And those LCD shades on the windows are really cool. Yep, totally 100% in agreement with that. And nice tactical display. Yeah, I'm actually in my spare time, especially during holidays, etc., I happen to do a lot of flight simulation. So yeah, I really like that kind of stuff. And also a very warm welcome to Sergio. And also thanks so much for the $10. I love your videos and lives. Congrats. Greetings from Brazil. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, Sergio. Appreciate it. Millennium Falcon for the win, definitely. Yeah, the phone camera did pretty well. It was actually, I really love my phone camera. It's brilliant. Robert says, looks like Newport Beach, a Laguna Beach. No, it was La Jolla Beach. That's where I was. La Jolla Beach. So, but it might be that it was close. I don't recall. But, yeah, was quite close to San Diego. It was a little bit north of San Diego. Eric says, "Wow, that's a great hotel for a room in Las Vegas." Yeah, I know, man. I really loved it. But in all fairness, Vegas is not my kind of city. It's too fake for me. Sorry if I offend somebody, but I really like sightseeing and seeing people. But this was really a lot aimed towards gambling. I was there for a conference, a business conference, so not really related to video productions. However, it was really cool to see how they did it. So it was extremely interesting. But that's nevertheless. Thank you, Raoul, for getting rid of the spam. I appreciate it. All right. So that was what happened for the last couple of weeks. And now let's go talk about the main nitty-gritty of the show and what we're going to talk about today. And that is, of course, bringing lower thirds or bringing content to your ATEM productions. And I really want to be very clear on that before I really go into like demos, etc. With Vmix, you can do everything in one application. So you can put in graphics like I did just now. I can just like this. I can just bring it in without any issues. This is all within the Vmix environment, and I can also play videos without any problems, etc., etc. However, Vmix does come at a cost. Well, it's not a big deal, because if you look into this stream that I'm doing for you at the moment, I know for a fact that if I watch the stream on my phone, there is about a 20-second delay, which is quite a lot. And you can imagine that if you have a live show with 20 seconds delay and you want to project the program on local televisions, that doesn't really work. Now, that is when streaming. If you are using external displays, then it's still just about a second delay, which is still too much to really use throughout a big venue. That is the reason why I have decided to utilize ATEM. So let's again tell you why not use Vmix or OBS? Well, basically, like I just said, I really want to have less delay in my picture. So, for example, on this screen that you see in front of you, you see a group of people that are looking at the stage where a person is presenting, and that person is typically very far away, and you cannot really see him. You cannot really see his emotions or her emotions, and that is really not a very nice, way of looking at an event. Hence, you see those pictures on the left and the right hand side. These are video screens that are really huge, and they are magnified into the person that is standing on the stage, and therefore everybody in that venue can see that person in good quality, and which is called in the industry IMAG for image magnification. That is really great, but if you also want to add graphics to that to that functionality, then you run into some issues, and that is where this setup of today is going into. And so what we're going to do is that I'm going to really talk about a few possibilities, and a few of those possibilities I will actually demo for you guys to give you some ideas. I also maybe have a question to you guys, because one of the possibilities that I'm going to talk about today, I actually didn't really get it to work, which was really annoying, and I'm not using it. It was really meant only for the sake of, you know, this video to utilize it and to show that it is possible. And I know it is for a fact possible, but I could not get it 100% to work today. Even though I got what I wanted, it was not perfect. So going back to the slide show, what is the first thing that I wanted to show you is, first thing that I want to let you understand is that in order to bring in lower thirds with transparency, you need to have a product in between that will allow you to create a key and a fill, where the fill is literally what you as a person can see, so that is including transparency. So it's a graphic with colors, etc., etc. And the key is actually information that your computer or the ATEM uses to identify what needs to be fully transparent, what needs to be partially transparent, or what needs to be not transparent at all. And that is what we call key. And that product, what you need in between, can be something like a Declink card. And what I mean by a Declink card is literally, for example, the card that I'm going to show you in just a bit, right here. So this is the Declink card that you see in front of you. This is actually the one that I am using, not only in the enclosure that I will show you in just a minute, but also in the computer that I am having next to me, because this computer that I have behind me is actually the computer that I am using to try things out, but also for things like I'm spacing out. Let me think. Replay. That's it. Yeah. So also for replay purposes, when you want to perform slow motion activities, you can use that. So this card I really love for a few simple facts. The first fact is that you see that it has 5 SDI connectors. One of them is not a video connector, so only 4 connectors are available on this card, and the other one is just for reference purposes. I'm not going to use that reference. I don't have a need for it. However, maybe one day I need it, but at the moment I do not need it at all. And you see 4 SDI connectors. Now, what is really beautiful about this Declink Duo card is that you can literally assign if a SDI channel is an input or an NCI channel is an output, and you can pick and choose whatever you like. So if you want to have 3 outputs and 1 input, that is possible. If you want to have 4 inputs, that is also possible. If you only have 4 outputs, that's also possible. But you can only have 1 that is related to key and fill. So yeah, you can combine 2 of those SDIs to 1 channel that you can distribute into the key and into the fill, like you see on this picture again. The key and the fill needs to be in sync, obviously, to make it work for you. But that is really important from that perspective. Now, but there's one but here. This card I can put into my Alienware PC that I have behind me, but I cannot put that on my laptop. This is just something that I cannot use for it. So here is a problem. I want to put it on a laptop. Maybe not this one, but definitely on one of about one laptop that I have right there. Now, in order to make that happen, I'm actually using this product right here, which is by Sonet Technologies. It's the Echo Express SE third edition, which is basically a enclosure that allows you to add a PCIe card, like for example the Declink Duo 2, add it here and use a Thunderbolt connection to be able to use it for a laptop. So that is important to note, that in order to make that work, you do need to have a fast connection. And a fast connection at the moment is almost always, not exclusively, but almost always a Thunderbolt 3 or 4 port. Luckily, if you are a Mac user, these days always have a Thunderbolt 4 port on it. However, if you are a Windows user, then that is not a given. So you really need to pay close attention when you are selecting a laptop that it has a Thunderbolt 3 or 4 port, where 3 is enough for what you are going to do on HD video. So that is what we basically have done. And that is also the first thing that I want to show you. But before I show you, let's check if there are some comments, because I don't want to forget you guys. I see that MT is performing all kinds of cool links, so please check those links out. That is really cool. Thank you so much, MT, for providing that. And indeed, Thunderbolt 3 is 40 megabits per second, which is really, really cool. And welcome, Coney. Really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. All right, so that is the first thing that I'm gonna do, and of course I have prepared my setup, like you did see before I left for the US, which I have right here. So this is the setup, but I also have, if everything is well, still connection with my laptop right there, and I think that I still have it, so that's cool. So that means that I can also show that to you. So what we're gonna do is the following. Here above you see a picture of me. I'm there. Hello, hi. So that's very close to where I am at the moment. And basically what I will do is that I will be showing you most likely on camera number 3 and camera number 4. That's right there. So this is camera 4 and this is camera 3. You will see 2 pictures. One will be the key environment and the other one will be the fill. Again, key is information that the ATEM uses to determine if something is transparent or it's not, or something in between. And the fill is literally what you see as a person. So what we're going to do is that I'm first going to start to utilize the connection with the Thunderbolt enclosure. So I have connected it. It's literally here, and I'm able to show it to you in a video, but maybe I should. So let's open an NDI camera on my phone and try to connect with the phone. I know it's working already. Making sure that the audio is not on, because that will sound crap. Okay, so let me show another picture of the setup. So this is the setup that I have in front of me. This is the setup that I use for on-location work. And if I go and start, I will show you where I have the Thunderbolt enclosure. And I will not have audio, but I will be back very shortly. All right, so you saw that there was an enclosure right there, and I had 2 SDI connections going to the ATEM switcher. That's what I wanted to show you. There's a Thunderbolt connection from the laptop, which is a HP Omen laptop of 2019 on top of my head, that is going towards that enclosure, and there it will be processed to become a key and a fill. And indeed, like Eric has said, it is the key is for transparency and the fill is for the actual video information. And indeed, I totally 100% agree with that statement right here, Eric. Thank you so much to all of the moderators to get rid of all of those ugly comments, right? All right, so let's start and to show you what it looks like on the system itself. So here you go. So this is the system that you will see behind the next to the screen. And what I've done is that let's show you first the where is it? Didn't I open it? Okay. So first thing that I wanted to show you was the desktop video setup, because the desktop video setup will show you that I'm currently having a Declink Duo 1. Remember, this is on a laptop, so this is not on a desktop PC, but it's literally on laptop PC. And you can actually go here and see that I have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 SDI channels. However, you might see this one right here is not entered fully, and that is quite awkward, right? Because what is going on here? Well, actually it's quite easy to understand. So I've put everything on 1080p 50, and if I click on this arrow right here, this setup utility, I can actually state that if I go into connectors, I am now combining SDI 1 and SDI 2 into one single synced signal, and that's why it's called SDI 1 and SDI 2. So that is connected. Now the 1, 2, 3, and 4 doesn't say a lot, because actually if I go into the number 2, you will actually see that it's actually connecting to SDI 3, so the third connector, not the second connector. And the same thing goes to, if I go to the fourth, it's actually not going to the well, this one is going to the fourth, but you catch, you understand what I'm saying, right? So if I click on this one, well, it doesn't say anything because there's nothing to connect with, right? That's exactly what you want, because you want to have those two signals in sync. Again, key and fill need to be in sync to have a good functionality, because it's not a picture that you're showing. You're actually showing an animation in some cases, and that should be possible. So that is what we have selected right here in this desktop video setup of Blackmagic Design. We will go back here to show you that we're actually going from this system to a other system, which is the Ultrastudio, but we're not going to do that right now. You guys know that I really love Vmix, so that's also the reason why I'm using this one as a demo for what you can do. I will be talking a little bit about other functionalities as well. For example, also ProPresenter. If you are really interested in ProPresenter, please let me know in the comments below that you want me to talk about ProPresenter, so that I know that, and I will be definitely talking about it at a later stage. But for now, today, to make it easy on ourselves, I will be focusing on Vmix for this demo. And the way that it actually is working is quite easy on Vmix. It is really that easy. So I go into the Vmix, and there is a external setup right here. If I click on the cogwheel, you will be able to set up all kinds of outputs, but I'm actually interested only in one, that is the external output settings. If I click on that, it will pop up in just a bit with a requester, which we can use to why is it so slow? Okay, there it is. And here you got the external setup 1, and what you can do now is that you can select the device, and here you see all of the Declink cards. Remember, If I press Declink 1, it's actually doing not only 1, but it's also adding number 2 as well. So it's 1 and 2 in one single go. So that's the reason why I'm requesting number 1. It is an SDI port, that's definitely the case. And in this case, I really want to have a pre-multiplied channel as an alpha channel, because I want to layer the key and the fill on top of each other for the sake of having a good video content. So that is what we have set up today. So I'm going to click OK on this one. Now, next what I need to do, and now I'm going to do everything out of the box so that everybody who wants to do this at home by themselves, you can just download Vmix. Vmix is for free for, I believe, 60 days. So just do it for free. You can try it out, and if you like it, then you need to pay for it. And if you don't, well, then you can always go to other tools as well. But so now I'm gonna hit add input on the lower end. I'm gonna go to title, and this is a plethora of different titles that you have at your disposal. For the sake of clarity, I'm going to use one that is very with a gradient for transparency purposes. So this is a nice one to use, as you can see right there. So so if I remove this, this is not transparent right here, and this is going in gradients to transparent. So that is that. Now I need to do one more thing, because sometimes it doesn't work perfectly. And that is that I want to make sure, and I think that it's already fixed on the 26, but I always do it, is I will have this one created as transparent. So this one just became really transparent. I will cut to this one. So now the transparent background is here. I'm then clicking on an overlay. Boom, this is the overlay, and that is that. Right, so that is all that I've done here. But if you look here, you don't really see anything happening. So something was wrong, right? Well, not so much. There's only one step left to do, and that is I actually need to activate that external display. So if I click on this, it will automatically create that lower third for you. And I do see that I need to do a quick fix, otherwise you will not see it. So I will make sure that my picture is on the other side of the screen. All right. So now if I go like so, you will see that on the the right hand side, sorry, you will see right there on camera 3, you will see the key information. So that is what is transparent or what is not transparent. And on the other side, well, that side right there, that is the actual fill. And what you then do is in the ATEM software is that you combine them and you put a DSK on top of it, and that will then automatically make sure that it will be overlaid on top of that thing. And if we have some time left, we will definitely do that. But this is the first step. So literally, this is what we wanted. We wanted to have channels that are separate from each other with the transparency information and the real picture. I'll just for the sake of it, I will just remove this one that I have on the current screen. So I'll just remove it. As you can see, it's gone, and I will just add a different one, which is a little bit more colorful, so that it's easier to see the difference. For example, I always like to do this one right here, and let's show it again. So now you really see the difference. So on the left hand side, and let me put the one on the left on preview and the one on the right on program. Let's do it the other way around. So there you go. So on the left hand side, can I show that like this? No, too far away. Where's my finger? Ah, there it is. So that is the fill And that is the key right there. There you go. And this is still what it looks like right here. So that's basically what I have right there. Now let's move on and check if everybody is on board and understanding where we are. Sergio says, Petra, I learned a lot of knowledge. Thank you. That's really appreciated, Sergio. Really appreciate it. And Carrot wants me to talk about ProPresenter. Yeah, I will definitely talk about ProPresenter. I will very briefly talk about it today, but I will definitely make a bigger program on that topic as well. Empty says, ProPresenter sounds great, but it's only available on the Mac or sadly not on Windows. That is, for a fact, not true. It is also available on Windows, Empty. So you can download it on Windows and on Mac. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think that I have it installed on this system. Maybe not. Maybe not. I think so. Yeah. Let's show it. So this is Windows. What you're seeing right now. And this is ProPresenter starting up on a Windows computer, live and direct. It's not, this ProPresenter is not licensed. That's maybe a thing, but it definitely is a application that is runnable on both Windows and on Mac. The only thing is that on the Mac it starts up way faster than on the Mac. But it definitely is coming, as you can. Yeah, well, you could see. Where is it now? There you go. Boom. So this is it. So we're already on 7.10, and it wants to install, but not today. So here you go. So basically, this is a possibility that you have. You can even run videos, of course. No, I don't want to. Stop. So you can do a lot of things there as well. Okay. Yeah. Okay. No worries. All right. Eric has a funny one. I see the key. I see the key. I see the secret. Yeah. Raul says, so you run the countdown timer intro and Vmix social on Vmix using this method. No, not really, Raul. So I like I said at the very start of the show, I can do this, all of it, what you see on the screen via Vmix. The only thing is that two reasons why you do not want to do it on Vmix are you don't want to have a delay if you're on location. That's the first reason. The second reason is that if you are in a position where you need to produce a show that is too much for one single person to do, then I will also not recommend to use Vmix. So Vmix is really a very good player if you're all by yourself and you don't have to be live in the venue itself. Then it's like the perfect thing. I mean, I'm really loving Vmix, to be honest. But if you have a big production, or you're on location, I would not use it as the main system for switching. I would definitely go for the ATEM world because of that, because I have more trust in the ATEM world of things. And again, Empty, well, thank you so much for pushing that URL out there. I really appreciate it. Kira says, I'm a Mac user, so I have no chance to use Vmix. That is an unfortunate side effect of Vmix. I agree. However, you can also use, for example, OBS or ProPresenter, or also, what was the name again? Ecamm. Ecamm is a very nice tool to work with as well. For me, it's a little bit, it might be easy, but it's a different logic than I'm used to. So for me, it's quite a challenge. But Ecamm does work on the Mac. Livestream Studio does work on the Mac, but it's really expensive. So I'm not sure if you would like to do that. Wirecast works on the Mac. Same thing. I don't know if you want to do that, but OBS does work for it as well. And yes, I also am a Mac user, as you can see. This is a Mac system right there. So I'm not fully only on board with Windows. Now, of course, you can also use the same thing for other functionalities. For example, if you do not, well, I cannot imagine that, but if you don't want to use Vmix at all, or you want to use a other tool for you know, providing content, then you can also, now you don't have to. You can also, for example, use H2R graphics. So I have added a demo project right here. And if I open that demo project right here, I can then select what I want to see. And here you have the output. So this is what the output looks like. And basically everything that is white is actually transparent. So what I can do in here is that I can copy this URL. Hit Control C, and then go to Vmix, hit Add Input, go to web browser, hit the URL, Control V, and hit Enter, and then you will see here the browser. And if I then and if I would then do the following to bring this on board, like so, you will actually see the same thing happening that you saw earlier on the screen. However, yeah, it's very far away. Let's take something bigger that you can really see it, like this, for example. Match his body, right there. Now you will able to see it right here, ironed out. So it is still possible to also use it for other tools than, for example, only Vmix, for example. You can also use it in combination with our favorite other component, H2R graphics. Now, I promise you to be very frank about one of the topics. And one of the topics is, to be honest, is OBS. Now, I have to admit, it doesn't work what I wanted to do. So here you go. This is OBS right here. And yeah, so what you did, what you here can also do is that you can add a browser. So I'll just delete this one for the sake of it. I can hit add, then say browser, and then I can use, and then I'm gonna call this H2R for example. Oh, other R, add, and then I'm gonna add the same URL that I used just a minute ago, right here. I do need to set the width to 1920 and the height to 1080 to make it HD, and then I hit OK, and then you have the output of H2R graphics right here in OBS. Again, OBS is running not only on Windows but also on Mac, so this might be something that you can use. And here you have the tools selection right here, and then you go to Declink output. And the thing is that I can now select the Duo 1. I can hit the modes, that is perfect. I can actually state that the keyer is external, and then I hit start. But if I do that, first of all, nothing is happening. Second, if I get it to work, it becomes a very green screen. Like everything is green, and I have no clue what I'm doing wrong to this. But I know for a fact that this is a possibility. So I'm trying to figure out how it works. But in all fairness, I will never use it myself because I already have access to a Vmix for that reason. So but I want it to be complete. But unfortunately, without a little bit of, I was running a little bit out of luck, to be honest, today. So I have to be fully transparent. And I love this that you're doing that. Oh, by the way, it's obsproject.com, and this is the German variant, but of course you also have an English variant. So please make sure to maybe change that for you. Welcome, Jason. Really appreciate you for taking the time all the way on Facebook. That's right. I'm streaming at the same time to YouTube and to Facebook for people that do not know. And of course, H2R Graphics is on here to record /apps. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that, MT. So that was OBS. Unfortunately, I could not really get it to work. Now, I want to do something else. I want to show you another way of doing it. Because, yeah, the enclosure is really nice. However, it's also a big system. Now, what I've done is that in my 19-inch rack, I actually have a Ultrastudio. And that Ultrastudio, let's go back. Oh, did I remove it? No. Oh, that's not the other one. Okay. Let me show you what I meant. So I actually also have a Ultrastudio, which you can see right here. Oh, wait a sec. It's not working. Why is it not working? Maybe I should. I cannot show the browser when it's. That's awkward. All right, so there you go. Finally, so the one that I actually own is the Ultrastudio HD Mini, which is this small box right here with my mouse is hovering over, and it's actually the minimalistic setup for what you can do with it. This is what it looks like at the front, and at the back it looks like this. So you have again 2 SDI outputs. One is for key, one is for fill, and you also have an HDMI output, but I'm actually not using that. The only thing that I'm using on this one is the SDI in I'm using for other purposes, but I'm also using the Thunderbolt 3.0 one. So again, the same kind of cable that you're using to connect to the PCIe enclosure, you're actually also using for this system. So I need to flip around the cables to make that work. So that's what I'm going to do right now. But this is the system that we're going to talk about right now. So yeah, I'm going to go very quickly there to do a quick flip of the applications. I do need to shut down a Vmix for that to make that work. So otherwise I will not see it. So I will just stop Vmix, and I will be stopping H2R Graphics because they don't like this. I'll just give you literally 20 seconds to get it organized. So just give me a few seconds. Okay. All right. That's it. If everything is fine, it should be working. So I will be now very quickly checking before I show the screen to you if it has popped up. Yes. Okay, cool. Then I can show my screen again. So let's show the screen again. The first thing that I always do is that I verify if it has connection. So that's where the desktop video setup that I also used for the card, the Declink card, is popping up. And as you can see, the Ultrastudio HD Mini is now literally popped up. I can see a lot of information. I can see video input, output, conversions. I can actually see a lot of information right here. But I now for a fact can see that I'm actually using the Ultrastudio HD Mini for the coming setup. Now let's again do the same thing. I'm gonna open up Vmix again from scratch, so there's nothing awkward going on. So it's literally starting up. Of course, the new beta version. So don't try this at home. I'm gonna go to external right here again. Going to the cogwheel again. External output settings. Same thing that I did the previous time. And then I'm gonna select device. And this time around, I'm gonna select the device Ultrastudio HD Mini 1. And I will keep everything there, but the pre-multiplied is very important. So please take that into account. Pre-multiplied. Hit OK. Boom. That's all I needed to do. Then I'm gonna do a quick transparency thingy right here, so that I know that this one right here, a little bit out of screen, I see, is transparent. And then I'm going to add an input, and that input is a title. I'm going to take the red one right here, boom, and I'm going to push that one to the right hand side, right, so like so. And then I will switch on the external, and for some reason it's not working. Let me see. What did I do wrong? Ultrastudio HD Mini. SDI, master, pre-multiplied. That's all okay. Oh! Duh! Of course. My bad. It is of course working. You know, the thing is, it's another channel. It's not on camera 3 and 4. It's actually on camera 9 and 19. So let's make sure that you see those on the left hand side and on the right hand side. That one goes there. That one goes there. There you go. So here you again see key and fill right off the box without any problems. So that's literally all that it was. It's literally a difference between this right here and this, and I really like the Ultrastudio because of the speed of things that you can use it for. However, it does come at a very interesting cost, and that is the following: the Ultrastudio is really good at that key and fill thing, but what I'm missing with the Ultrastudio is other functionalities. For example, if I will have the enclosure, I can actually also change the settings so that I can get 4 cameras into, for example, my laptop, which is something that I cannot do with the Ultrastudio. So that is something that is really good at. Another thing that is really good at is that for ProPresenter, I actually have additional channels at my disposal. So going back to that presentation that I was showing you earlier, so we did show you this setup right here. So from left to right, Vmix created a key and a fill, a pre-multiplied key, going into a Declink card, and you see the fill in the key going into the ATEM switcher, and I can then use it as a DSK to show it on the screen. What also would be possible is to use a ProPresenter, and I promised you to do that at a later stage. So I will show you this setup at a later stage, maybe this year still. Otherwise, it's definitely going to be very, very fast. But what is additionally interesting with ProPresenter is that I can actually use all 4 of the channels. So I can actually add, for example, a full screen lyric screen where, for example, I have a lower third with lyrics that is going to the stream, but on the same time, I can actually publish the same lyrics fully in sync on full screen displays in the venue with lyrics or with other stuff. So that is very powerful. This is something that Vmix cannot do, that OBS cannot do. This is something that is specifically something that ProPresenter can do and excels at. So that's also the reason why I use ProPresenter as well. Then here you know. Now you know why I use it. This one, OBS, I just showed you how I think that you need to set it up. And I got it working. For one thing, that it was a little bit greenish. The picture was green, and I don't know why. So that was a little bit of a thing, and it's like, yeah, I'm not going to show it to you when I'm not feeling confident about it. But I also think it's good to let you know that also myself, I make mistakes, and I cannot always find things out. And above that, I'm not really using OBS that much, so it's okay. Let me see if there are any comments that I want to talk about. Eric says OBS won't go to air program with HDR graphics browser source. I'm glad you tried. Whoa, ho, it's me. I'm pretty sure this is just me not paying attention. I do, however, know that it works like a charm with the Ultrastudio. So there's a lot of evidence that it works. However, I, for some reason, cannot get it to work, and that might be just because I missed out on one single parameter, and I need to figure that out. And for some reason, I thought that I could find it, but I could not. That's okay. It's okay. And he says too many buttons. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I think that if you look at the Ultrastudio, it only has one button, or none at all, actually. It's just it switches on and switches off. That's it. And the enclosure also has not a lot of buttons, but the software does, of course. Andre is also in the house. Welcome, by the way, Andre. Can you use a hyperdeck with two SDI outs as well? Yes, you can. So, for example, if you have this one right here, this is the hyperdeck HD Plus. That will work. So, but it does need to have an A and a B SDI. So the new hyperdeck Mini does not have this functionality. I repeat, the new hyperdeck Mini does not have this functionality, so you cannot use it for that. Only, and also not the shuttle one, the jog shuttle one. I forget the name. That is also not available. But all the higher ups, so HD Plus and up, will have it. Let me show it to you because I don't want to mess that up. So let's go to Blackmagic quickly. On Blackmagic Design, right here. Okay. Let's show it to you very quickly. Okay, so if you go into products right here and to disc recorders, then the HyperDeck Shuttle HD Mini does not have the functionality. This is the first one not, but everything up to 695 and up will have the functionality to have a key and a fill, so you can pre-record that for you if you'd like. The Shuttle HD does not work also, so that's something that you need to be a little bit careful with. Vul says, sometimes you have to downgrade OBS Studio to get things to work. What worked for you last week? Yeah, it did work for me indeed. I believe 3 weeks ago when I started to work on this topic, it actually worked, but maybe it's a new version. That might be the case. I do not know, to be honest. Because I did prepare everything today, but for some reason. Eric says, time to move the Thunderbolt cable to the Ultrastudio. Yeah, indeed, that's the case. By the way, about Thunderbolt cables, I actually drove 2 hours today to get that Thunderbolt cable because the old one I could not find it anymore. And it can be 2 reasons. A, I have misplaced it somewhere in my warehouse, between brackets, or a 4-feeted small guy has been playing with it. I don't know. I could not find it. So I had to really get one today. Eric says, do you connect the SI cables key and fill to the Ultrastudio? Yes, indeed. So, yeah, I could not show it to you today, but indeed, inside of my rack, there is already an SDI cable that goes from that is outputting from the Ultrastudio to the ATEM switcher, and both for the key and for the fill. And for the sake of it, what I did was that in this case 9, so channel 9 is the fill, this is what you see, and channel 19, so 10 up, is the key information. And I did the same thing for my old HyperDeck Mini, and that's also number 10 and number 20. So that way I can recognize where I am, and that makes it quite easy to know what to take. And like what MT said, indeed, I agree with that statement. Do you need to modify the downstream? Yes, on the ATEM you do need to select the downstream. Now I did not connect the ATEM yet, so let me do that quickly. I hope that this was the correct USB port, but I think that I can now also connect to the ATEM. Let me... I messed up. Oh, it's the other one. Wait. It's the other one? Yes, I messed up. It was the wrong picture. So here you go. So indeed, you do need to set your downstream key to have the fill source, in this case, on the fill source on 9 and the key source on 19, and then it should work. So once I press now on the DSK, put it on the air, it will automatically do that correctly. So yes, you do need to do that right there. And so sweet of you to say that, Raoul. That's the whole idea, to give you some value. So that's great. Welcome, Freddie. Really appreciate you for taking the time to come in. Welcome from Venezuela. And Jason says it's really cool to see. Yeah, that I thought the same thing. So I also really liked this setup right here. That was actually all that I had in store for you guys today. So to summarize, again, you can do everything that I showed you today solely with Vmix. So you do not need anything else but Vmix, and maybe the enclosure for bringing in cameras. maybe. If you are you need more people to perform a production. For example, you have more cameramen, you have more people that have to pay attention to what's happening on audio, on video, etc., etc., etc. Please, I think that Vmix is maybe more oriented to one single person, and if you need more than that, please go ahead and go with the ATEM route, a combination with, for example, Vmix, so that you can add your graphics from a different workstation. Also, if you want to don't have that delay, which can be, it's not a lot of delay, to be honest, with Vmix either, but it is definitely noticeable, and that's less so the fact with the ATEM switchers. So that's the reason why I bring, sorry, need to get some drink. Ooh. So that's the reason why I actually wanted to bring in the graphics and everything into the ATEM, so that everything is more sync and fast, etc., etc. And in all fairness, the Ultrastudio is perfect for key and fill. That means that for lower thirds, but also, and I didn't show you that, but also for playing out videos. So you can also use it for playing out videos. It's actually even, especially in combination with ProPresenter, it's like perfect, because in ProPresenter you can just pick and choose if you want to play a video or want to have a lower third. And once you click that lower third, just simply one click on the icon, then it will automatically either play a video or show you the lower third. Again, it can be also animated lower third. That is on the Ultrastudio very well, and I think it's I would definitely highly recommend that. If you want to go one step up, and that's basically what I do, is that I also want to project different content on local screens that I'm pushing to the stream. In that case, I would recommend to go with a Thunderbolt enclosure with a Declink card, like for example the one that I showed you today. That is, in fact, of course, more expensive. I think it's about $900 or $850, $900 all in, compared to $600. So it's only $200 difference, or $250 or something. But it is a difference, and I can imagine that you need to take into account what you think, what is wise. I need both of them, to be honest, but I can imagine that you don't. So that was everything that I had in store for you today. I hope that you liked it. It was really good to be back. And of course, I'm looking very much forward to next week. So next week, we're definitely going to talk a little bit about something else again. And the week after will be a Q&A. And after that, we need to talk a little bit about the last couple of weeks of the year, because Christmas is coming and New Year's is coming. And unfortunately, I will not have a show on Christmas and on New Year's, as you can most likely understand. So those 2 weeks I will not be there, and maybe it's good to in about 2 weeks or so have like a retrospective, so to speak, and then move on for 2023, which I really am looking forward to. There's a lot of positive things to look into. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you for taking the time. I think that my cats are really wanting me to be back, so I'll also say goodbye to you. Have a fantastic weekend, guys. See you around. Bye bye.